Today we're gonna be reacting to some of the most evil parents to ever grace the earth. Now, if you ever thought that your parental situation was pretty bad, I feel like this video is gonna make you think that it actually wasn't as bad as you nearly thought. Well, at least for most of the people. Maybe some of y'all grew up in really harsh environments, which that I'm very sorry. I, for one, feel like I grew up in a pretty harsh environment when it came to my parents. You know, I was getting hit with literally every single item you can think of in the item shop. In Fortnite, okay, I was getting hit with shoes, wires, hangers. It didn't matter, okay? Either way, let's see some of the most evil parents and what they did, bro. I'm guessing we're gonna see some neglect, abuse, rape, things like that. Without further ado, let's get into these evil parent story times.
This is the most evil mother in history. Her name was Julieta. She raised her son,
Okay, she already just looks evil, bro. Look at her face.
Connor, all by herself.
Like, bro, this just looks like a Willy Wonka, like the Johnny Depp version, bro. I don't know. She looks like a bad guy.
And for years, they were very close.
And she's tall as hell. She looks like a Slender Man, like uncanny.
But as Connor grew older, he started to drift away, and that left Julieta feeling abandoned. When Connor turned 25, he got married. A year later, his child Paul was born. First time Julieta held the baby in her arms, a twisted thought took root in her mind.
Why?
She wanted to be the boy's mother, not his grandmother. So she volunteered to take care of the child while secretly planning to get rid of her daughter-in-law Linda, pretending to care for her.
Oh my God, bro. This cannot be a real image. Yo, this is actually scary as hell.
Julieta fed her so-called supplements every day until one day Linda suddenly died.
You mean drugged her, bro?
After that, Julieta began to brainwash Connor, repeating again and again, "The child is so little. It's too sad for him to grow up without a mother. Let me be his mom." In his grief and confusion, Connor eventually gave in.
Wow.
Julieta thought her secret would never be discovered. But when Paul turned 5, the teacher gave the children an assignment. Each of them had to draw a picture of their mom. While every other child drew a young mother, Luca drew an old woman with a wrinkled face.
Okay, but to be fair, sometimes people are growing up in situations where their grandma's taking care of them. Like, I know a lot of people, there's probably somebody watching this video right now, bro. Like, you lived in your grandma's house for a period of time, or your grandparents. That's not abnormal for you to draw them as your parent or caretaker.
The teacher asked, "Who is this?" And Paul answered with innocent certainty, "She is my mom, and she is also my grandma."
Damn. Okay, so my question is, how did we even find out this information? Because, like, think about it like this. If this was back in, like, the 1735 century, whatever, you know, when she did, like, give the girl the false supplements or the pills or whatever, how did we find out? Because they couldn't do an autopsy and, like, check the CCTV cameras. They didn't have cameras at the time, right? So how do we even know that this is true? And how did the husband ever find out that his mom killed his wife and then raised his baby because she was that obsessed with him, bro? Boy moms are crazy sometimes, man. That's crazy.
This may actually be one of the most evil parents in all of history.
Okay.
In the late 1960s in Indiana, Gertrude Benzowski was a mother
Whoa, what did you just say? That sounded like a Harry Potter spell. Like, my desk is gonna start floating. Jetson and Benzowski?
of 7 children, miscarried 6, and had just been abandoned by her latest boyfriend. And so to earn some extra cash, she decided to take in Sylvia and Jenny Lickens after their father promised her an extra $20 a week for their care. For whatever reason, Benzowski turned on Sylvia. She beat her, burned her with cigarettes, forced her to eat her own feces.
Oh my God, no, you are scum of the earth, bro.
Forced her to insert a bottle of Coke into her.
Brief admission, if you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure you go ahead and smash the subscribe button. We're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. No. I don't want him to even finish that sentence. Coke bottles inserted. Oh, we get it, bro. We get it. You don't need to tell us more. She's the worst ever. That's the worst already. It doesn't get any worse than this.
Private parts and carved on her abdomen, "I am a prostitute."
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
And I'm proud of it. However, she didn't commit these crimes on her own.
Hold up.
However, she didn't commit.
Who is this dude? Why does he look like he's like 12 and 35 at the same time? He looks like both a kid and a pred in the same sentence. You cannot make this up.
These crimes on her
And she looks like Michael Jackson if he was like old and wrinkly.
own. She called upon her children and the neighborhood kids to torture and eventually kill Sylvia. It has been called the most terrible crime ever committed in the state of Indiana.
Oh my God, bro. To be continued with the One Piece thing. Damn, that was crazy. What do you mean to be continued, actually? There's more to the story? What you mean? Bro, that should be ending. It should be over already. It should have been ended.
Her parents starved her so she could be their little girl forever. Now, I want you to look at this girl and I want you to comment how old you think she is, okay?
I think based on the image, we can't really see her face, right? It's blurred out, but I would say like a cool 11, 12. She looks really skinny. This is how I looked when I was 11, bro, actually.
Okay, here's another photo of her. Comment, and then I'll tell you how old she
Yeah, I'm standing on that 11.
was. She was 16
Oh, hell no.
in this photo.
No, bro. This is starvation.
And she weighed 60 pounds.
Dude, some people have pet dogs that are heavier. Not even some people, a lot of people.
Officials warned them that she could pass from this, and her dad dismissed it, saying that they were crazy.
Huh?
But like, that actually is.
Yo, what freaky dad do you have, bro? Why are parents obsessed with their kids' looks and stuff in that way? I never understood that. Like, obviously in a healthy way, like if your kid's too skinny or too fat, you want to get them to be peak health. But in terms of like making them look a certain way, like, are you attracted to your kid? Are you attracted to your daughter, bro? Why are you trying to make them look a certain way anyways? And even if you were attracted to them, this is just nasty. And that's also nasty.
Reason, like, they wanted her to stay their little girl forever. Like, ew. What?
Yeah, see, that's like some weird attraction stuff, bro. I'm not tripping, I know.
And that's why they put her on this crazy diet.
Wow, bro. I hope she's still alive to this day.
Worst Parents Ever, Part 14,
Okay.
Chad Dorman. So, pictured here is
Chad Dorman? This guy is a parent? Bro, I see the craziness in his eyes already.
32-year-old Chad Dorman. He lived in Ohio with his wife. Their 3 sons who
You can't make this up, bro. Ohio?
were
Okay.
7, 4, and 3, and his stepdaughter. On June 15th at around 4:15, police would receive a call from Chad's wife, Laura, saying that her babies had been shot. Moments later, police would get another phone call from a man who was walking near the home and said that a girl ran up to him and said that her father was unaliving everyone.
What?
That would be the 14-year-old stepdaughter. It was revealed that on this day, Chad came home from work early and asked
Yo, look at him, bro.
his wife and boys to come take a nap with him in the bedroom. The sisters stayed in the living room watching some TV. Not long after, Chad would get up out of bed and shoot one of his sons twice.
Oh my god, this is so disgusting.
Laura, in a state of shock now, tells everyone to run as she tries to give aid to her son. By this time, the sister has realized what's happening and she's telling the brothers to run, and as they take off running, Chad gives chase and shoots another one of the kids.
These are your own kids. Like, you raised them just to do this? Bro, he's got to be off some type of like crazy drugs that like a human should never ever even look at.
The sister would then pick up her other brother in her arms and take off running, but they would soon be caught by Chad. He demanded that she put the boy down, and then he realized he was out of ammo, and she takes off running and ends up getting help. And the boy takes off running back to his mom, who at this point is just trying to do anything she can to keep her sons alive.
Damn.
Chad catches up to Laura and her son, and a fight breaks out, and she gets shot in the hand, and then he proceeds to shoot the last son in the
Oh my god. Wow. Wow. He had to take them all.
head. After executing his 3 sons, he proceeds to just sit outside on the porch steps as their mother runs around frantically trying
So he's not even like batshit crazy or anything like insane. He just genuinely wanted to do that. Take out his sons.
to bring her kids back to life. Chad would soon confess that he had actually planned this out for several months.
What did your kids do piss you off this much, bro? Run up the electricity bill, bro? Maybe break a couple cups in the house? Maybe they caused a mess? Maybe they like scratched the door or something? Like, bro, look at this dude. He was pent up with rage and just infuriated at his children. What the hell is his problem, dude?
Whatever you do not feel bad for this woman.
Okay.
This woman is April Corcoran, and she's a addict. She also had a bit of a problem, and that problem was she had no money. He called her dealer and offered him her own daughter for drugs. And the dealer did unspeakable things with her 11-year-old daughter.
That's nasty, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. How are you that addicted, bro? Oh my, bro, that's what drugs can do. Stay away from drugs. You know when people say, oh, kids don't do drugs, like they're dead serious, bro. Stay away from them. It doesn't matter what it is, bro. All of it, alcohol, weed, everything. Whatever people say, yo, it's fine in moderation. No, bro, just stay away from it. There's no point. Just stay away from all that stuff, bro. Not only is she nasty as hell and an addict, this guy's even worse in a way because he's not even drilled by an addiction. He just was like, all right, I'll take one daughter for one weed. Like, dude, they're both just terrible.
And this happened multiple times before the daughter told people what was actually going on. Of course, upon hearing this, April and her dealer were arrested immediately. The judge overlooking this case was so shocked that anybody could do this to their own daughter because they wanted drugs. She even said this was the worst case she'd ever seen in her career of being a judge. April didn't show any remorse or even apologize for her actions. She was sentenced to 51 years in prison, meaning that when she's eligible to get out, she'll be 81.
Damn, like Kobe Bryant scored. 81. Yo, make sure you hit up TK in there. Ask him if he's gonna drop a new album or if he's coming out anytime soon. Also, there's a couple people, maybe King Von. Oh, King Von passed away. YNW Melly's in there. So, you know, she has a couple connections. Maybe she could talk to them about, you know, advice on becoming a new artist or something. Because you might want to start off that rap career because nothing you're gonna do is ever gonna touch the outside world ever again, okay?
After getting in a wreck, a dad would leave his daughter in the road fighting for her life while he made a quick getaway. On January 11th,
your daughter got smashed by a car and you decide to make a pit stop at Chipotle. Where'd you go?
in a wreck, a life while he made a quick getaway. On January 11th, Elliot Benny was driving in Bixby along with his wife and their 3 kids, one of which is 16-year-old Shelby Benny. According to Shelby's mom, they were in a heated argument and he was going around 70 in a no-pass zone. They get into a wreck and it's a rollover, and this sends Shelby out of the car. Witnesses rush over after the crash and they saw Elliot standing there disoriented, and they asked if everyone was okay, and he just fled the scene, leaving his daughter fighting for her life on the road. He'd flee to his local family-owned business, get a car, and then 12 hours later he'd be found and arrested in a nearby town. Elliot had a history of leaving accident sites. He had done this 3 times, but never served.
So he don't give a damn. Okay, he's one of those.
Served any prison time. In the car, police found an open bottle of vodka, and Elliot did admit that he had been drinking and took a big gulp of vodka prior to driving.
Bro, the amount of people who drink and drive is actually astonishing. And also, it's like a lot of people who were like 21, like college age. I've seen it firsthand, just people who get like drunk or whatever, and then they're like, oh, I'm just gonna drive. And I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? The amount of times you can see drunk drivers just cause accidents and people still continue to do this. Not only do they not care about their own life, which, okay, that's stupid, but putting other people's lives in jeopardy is even worse, because some kid probably... Bro, some kid, some person driving home from work or on the way to school or on the way back home from the grocery store, running errands, having a nice day, did not deserve to be put in harm's way because of your dumbass decisions, bro. I never have any sympathy for drunk drivers, bro.
Sadly, Shelby would pass from this, but her siblings and her mom would be okay. Shelby was a cheerleader, and in a post on Facebook made by her team, they said she was a hardworking athlete and that
Is that Cardi B behind her? I feel like I've been there before. Is that a statue?
she will be missed and she was loved by everyone. After getting in a wreck...
Hey, rest in peace, man. Her dad's a scumbag, bro.
What is the most evil thing a parent has ever done to you? This one is easy, sadly. My mother called Child Protective Services on me last year.
Whoa.
Just because I wasn't talking to her. My world was turned upside down with one phone call. One day a sheriff came to my house. I was surprised because I'm not one to get into trouble or piss anyone off.
Okay.
He said he was there to check on mine and my children's welfare. I was confused. He said my mother had called and said I hadn't talked to her in over a year. My husband was abusive and holding me captive, and I was doing heroin and meth. I looked at him and said, "You've got to be kidding me." He assured me it was for real. I told him I spoke to her about 2 months ago.
Wait, was she doing that, or that's what her mom said?
There's no ball and chain behind me, and I damn sure ain't doing heroin or meth.
Yeah.
He actually laughed. I told him she's got issues and I don't want anything to do with her. He said, "Well, you look healthy, you're not locked in a cellar, and your kids are at school where they should be, so I'll be on my way." I thanked him for his time and off he went. I was steaming pissed that day. I wondered what was wrong with that.
That's so weird, bro. What type of parents do you have to be doing this, bro? Like, not only are you probably going through it when you're a kid, right? The parent was probably abusive or whatever, but now when you're an adult, she's still harassing you to this day?
Now I really won't talk to her. The next day, during the afternoon before the kids got home from school, there was a knock on the door. I opened the door and there is a sheriff and social worker. Dumbfounded, I ask if I can help them. They tell me someone has made a report to CPS and they're there to investigate.
Damn.
I was floored to say the least. So we sit down and the social worker begins to interrogate me. She then begins to list the allegations. She tells me I'm supposedly mentally ill, doing heroin,
what?
Being manipulated and abused by my husband.
Okay, at this point I'm like, bro, is it real? But no.
And run around unsupervised. The kids aren't adequately cared for, etc. I broke down and sobbed in disbelief. I asked who made this report and was told it was anonymous. I knew by the heroin.
Anonymous. Bro, anonymous at this point is like the equivalency of a person putting on glasses and a little fake mustache and fake nose. What you mean anonymous? We know who did this, bro. It was the mom.
And meth and husband abusing me bit exactly who it was. The show had just begun. Another sheriff arrived shortly after. They asked if they can search my home. I said for what, and was told if I didn't consent they would take my kids away.
Wow.
Reluctantly, I said fine, I have nothing to hide. As the sheriffs are upstairs.
Now, what if you did have something to hide, bro? Like, what if somebody was a good parent, but they had like an unregistered firearm or something, and then you get arrested for that? That would be crazy.
Searching, I'm still being interrogated downstairs by the social worker. My husband arrived and was very upset about the situation, naturally. He's even more angry seeing me a mess in tears having to be asked appalling questions.
Okay.
Next thing you know, there's a knock at the door. Lo and behold, it's another sheriff. He waltzes in and I ask what the hell he's here for. The sheriffs came downstairs with an empty box that my husband had under our bed from a gun he purchased. They asked where the gun was and he replied it was in the car.
Oh my God. How am I a genius? I'm actually a genius, bro. I was thinking about like, what if he has something that he's not supposed to have, but like, you know, like.
They asked to see it and he refused. He's not a felon and it's registered and completely legal.
Okay.
That seemed to piss them off, but they had no grounds to take it or see it. So here we are. Sitting in the living room with the social worker and sheriff while another one is in the kitchen and one in the dining room. Why? I couldn't even tell you. The sheriff had a brown paper bag and said there was some evidence in it. He pulled out some pill bottles.
Huh?
He asked me what they were for. I told him I suffer from depression and anxiety.
Oh.
I also take something for an opiate addiction. I'm in recovery and taking preventable medicine.
Opiate addiction. So were you addicted to hair? Yeah, okay.
Well, they thought they got me there. Mentally unstable and a drug addict. Perfect ammunition to use against me. They looked at me as though I was despicable. Scum. I could feel the judgment through my bones. The social worker asked my husband and I to accompany her to the kitchen. That's when she pulls out the drug tests.
Bro, man, these people have nothing better to do. That's really what it is. They're trying to hit that quota or whatever, bro. They need to arrest a certain amount of people in a month because there are criminals out here doing crazy crimes, bro. There are school, like, shooting, bro.
Asked if we were willing to take a voluntary drug test. We said absolutely. He went first, then I went. There we were in our home with 3 sheriffs and a CPS worker peeing in a cup to prove ourselves not to be drug addicts. I felt completely violated. The test took a few minutes to come out.
Do they even have, like, the warrant to do that off the rip? Like,
but they were negative. Almost. Disappointed, she let us see them and told us they were clean. I felt validated, but still so angry. My kids come home from school and ask what's going on. I didn't even know what to say. I just told them to get a snack and go to their room and I'd be with them shortly. The social worker said we could wrap up for now, but she'd be in touch. I kindly led them out. My husband and I just looked at each other and didn't even say a word. We were both too upset to even talk. Every aspect of our privacy.
You gotta, like, call a court and put a restraining order on your mom at that point.
And humanity had been stripped of us. Then we had to explain to the kids what was going on. After that we had to clean our home because when the sheriffs went through our belongings they had just thrown things about and had no respect for our things. The next day the kids informed me after school that a social worker had come to visit them to ask them questions about mom and dad.
Oh my God.
They were scared and upset. I told them it would be okay. As long as they told the truth, everything would be fine.
This is actually facts because, like, without getting too deep and personal, bro, I've had situations like this which obviously it sucks if you're a kid who has to deal with social workers. You don't understand. I was a kid who had to deal with social workers and stuff like that. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, bro, why are you asking me these questions, bro? I was like, just trying not to give any information, not trying to be a snitch or anything, just in general. Like, bro, it's just the most lamest thing to come and, like, ask kids and stuff, knowing that if a kid answers a question wrong, like, that kid might feel like it's the pressure on them that maybe their parents get in trouble or they get in trouble or they get separated or whatever. Because even if that's the case, a lot of times, bro, when these families that, like, do something illegal or something, maybe, like, if the kid gets separated, they get put into an even worse environment. It doesn't end up being better for them anyways.
Fine. We've got nothing to hide. The social worker paid me a few more visits. Each time I was cooperative and willing to do whatever was needed. Anything to get them to go away and stay away.
Okay.
Turns out my mother had called the principal at school asking him questions about my kids.
Oh my God,
Were they
bro.
stinky, dirty, did they look well fed, things like that. Then someone who claimed to be an uncle called and did the same.
Oh my.
The principal got so
Yo, is she using AI voices or what?
uncomfortable he called the social worker and told her he was being harassed and didn't want to deal with it. She finally said without saying in certain words it was my mother who filed the report. She admitted that the situation was very unusual. She paid me a last visit to let me know that not one claim could be substantiated. She apologized for the intrusion. She told me the case was closed and she would report back to my mother that all is well.
Okay.
Only after having our house ripped apart, taking drug tests, having my children interrogated at school, calling my psychiatrist, pharmacy, family and friends were we deemed fit enough parents. I can't begin to tell you what this situation has done to me. You're probably wondering if I confronted my mother. I sent her a text message after all was said and done and asked her if she had any idea what she had done. I asked what she was thinking. I know what she did. To not only me, but her grandkids. Well, she had nothing to say about it. So I left it there. If she ever comes to her senses and wants to explain herself and apologize profusely, I will give her a chance.
No, don't ever give her a chance. What the hell? After all that, no chance, bro. Bro, what I would have did, bro, blocked her, told her to kick rocks, kick a hike. If you need to be put in a nursing home when you're about to die, bro, don't ever think about calling me, bro. You're putting me, your grandkids through a bunch of stuff. It's like she wants her to be addicted to, like, drugs and stuff. That's so weird. That's the weirdest story I've heard in a while.
The worst parents ever. A 23-year-old boy in China stayed home all day playing video games because he didn't have a job. Well, his dad really didn't like that. So what his dad did is he actually hired in-game assassins to just keep killing his son every time his son logged on to the game.
What?
The boy got so angry that he decided to go get a job at a call center, which made his dad really happy.
What? That's a genius dad. What the hell? Worst parent ever? I don't know.
The worst parents of all time. When this girl was 11, she was a straight A student, and it was her best friend's birthday party coming up, and she was so very excited. Well, report cards came in one day, and turns out she got a B in one of her classes. Well, her parents were pissed. They grounded her on the spot. And
For a B? I mean, let me ask, what was the ethnicity of this household, okay? Because in Asian households, B stands for bad.
And they told her that she couldn't go to her best friend's birthday party. She told her best friend's mom what happened. Her best friend's mom knew how tough it was for her at home, because she was constantly being yelled at, belittled, and hit by her parents all the time. So on the day of the party, right before it was gonna start, her best friend's mom drove to her house, barged in the door, and said this: Sweetie, hi. I need you to get ready, pack a bag. You're coming to my daughter's party and you're spending the night, okay?
Whoa, okay, what type of authority do you think you have? If I'm the mother, I would be so mad if this happened, bro. And you're fighting me, and I might shoot you because you're in my house, bro.
Quick, let's go. Excuse me, you are not taking my daughter anywhere. She is grounded and staying home tonight.
Right.
Oh, is that so? Well, how about I call Child Protective Services on you for the 50 cats pissing and in your house?
What the? Where do we get that from? Okay, yeah, this is an abusive mom, of course, absolutely. Not only is she abusing her daughter, she's abusing her cats.
The worst parents ever.
Okay.
In this house, certain words were banned, like disgusting. If you said the word disgusting, you were grounded for a week.
Brother, it's a word, dude.
Obviously, no swear words. Bedroom doors had to stay open at all times.
Okay.
Only time they could be in a room with the door closed was the bathroom. This kid's parents hated Cartoon Network. They called it garbage. So yeah, super controlling parents, but one day it became completely...
Okay, so I feel like I grew up with some of these things, but not all of them. Like, there was certain words that are disrespectful. Like, in my house, I was not allowed to say huh or what, okay? If I said that, like, I was getting cooked. I had to be like, what is it? Or hello, or yes ma'am, yes sir type of things. Otherwise, bro, no, I'm in trouble. Also, I wasn't allowed to watch certain things. Like, I didn't get to watch SpongeBob because apparently there were like adult jokes and stuff.
Out of hand. One day, the parents decided that these kids were bad enough to deserve a real punishment. You've seen nothing yet. So the sister was 14, the brother was 12. The parents made them gather every single item in their bedroom. Clothes, pictures, diaries, toys, childhood keepsakes. Their parents made them bag this stuff up in trash bags. And then they marched them outside to a giant burn pile.
Oh no, bro, I would be devastated.
March to the backyard. And item by item, they made the kids burn every single thing that they bagged up.
This is grade A, just #1 way to make your kids hate you for the rest of their life. They're always gonna remember this moment.
Every memory, every photo, every childhood item, completely gone. The next day, they went out to see what was left. And it was just ashes. Their entire lives up to that point. Ashes.
Their whole life is in the ozone layer now, bro, causing smog and freaking greenhouse gas pollution.
So yeah, in my opinion, worst parents ever.
That's gonna do it for today's video. That was the worst, most evil parents in history. Let me know in the comment section if this made you feel like your parents were actually very good saints, or if they made you feel like, oh, my parents actually did some of these things too. And yeah, also let me know which one you think was the worst parent by far. I think it was probably one of those that shot the babies, like the dude who killed the kids, his own kids. That has to be the worst one. Also, let me know what you want to check out next in the comment section. And with that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's Love Hello. I love you, and I'm out.